Cowboy fans and YouTubers? Is that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you? Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic. We get to slowly exhale as we're going through the draft. We're still in round 4. A lot of comp picks are still going off the board. A couple quarterbacks that people were talking about are going off the board finally. The Cowboys. I didn't do a third round video, but our third round pick was defensive tackle Neville Gallimore out of Oklahoma. From the film, he looked pretty good. It looks like he's going to be okay, but he's not as much of a project as Tristan Hill was. But he's got some raw to him. So we're going to see. I think they can clean him up and he'll do pretty well. He's got Poe and McCoy to lead the way for him as an example for him. So it's not like he's getting, scrubs to teach from, to learn from. So, and a fourth round pick is Tulsa cornerback Reggie. Oh man, I can't remember his last name. Reggie something the second. Give me a second. Reggie Robinson the second, or 2. They just put Reggie Robinson 2. So, he's also not a premier athlete, but he's a guy that if he can get all things squared away and touch up on some of his technique, he could be a good starter. So right now you're looking at, if it came down to it, and Cheeto and Jordan Lewis are and Anthony Brown, because I think he's only on the 1-year deal. If those 3 guys are gone next year, we're going to have some guys that can replace them. Automatically, probably not, because they're not going to get as much playing time. Well, Trayvon Diggs will probably get starter time, but not Reggie. So we'll have to see. In other news, CeeDee Lamb has already picked his number. I guess it's official. I'm not sure if the Cowboys are going to make it official, but he's picking number 10. And that was Tavon Austin's number, so you can pretty much count him not coming back. Other than that, it's just been funny watching the Eagles cry. This guy last night is just so dumb. He's sitting up here arguing over one of Mark Holmes' comments. A guy had commented that Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz are now comparing notes on how their backups won them championships. It was a blast. I liked the comment. It was funny. But this guy's talking about, now Dak can call Wentz and talk about how he stopped him from going to the playoffs. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you do know that Dak has gone to the playoffs when Carson Wentz hasn't gone sometimes too. And sometimes they've gone together. So what exactly are you talking about? And he's like, I told him, well, because he said that the last 3 years they've gone to the playoffs, ha ha ha. Okay, well, out of the last 3 years you've gone to the playoffs, how many has Carson Wentz actually participated in? How many has he finished? How many plays in the playoffs has he had? And yet you're going to compare that to the 3 games that Dak has played in the playoffs? 3 whole games? And a playoff win? So don't sit here and get cocky about your quarterback who hasn't even played a whole quarter or half of a quarter of football in the playoffs. You're touting him as a Super Bowl winner, but the motherfucker was on the bench in the Super Bowl. If that's the case, hell, I could be a Super Bowl winner. I could get paid minimum and just sit on the bench and win a Super Bowl with a right team. Hell, Morris Claiborne, our castaway, is a Super Bowl champion, and he was injured when Kansas City won. So what difference does your quarterback getting a Super Bowl ring mean when he didn't earn it? And of course, you Eagle fans are going to argue that if it wasn't for this and that, he'd have been this and that. Well, let's not talk about this and that. Let's talk about facts. Facts are he's never healthy and he hasn't won a shit. Let's be honest. Y'all don't want to be honest about it, then don't bring it up. Y'all want to sit here and say, well, Dak Prescott hasn't got paid. That means Jerry Jones don't trust him. Well, your quarterback got paid and he's already getting his replacement drafted. So what's that tell you and your organization? Don't joke on mine. Y'all sitting up here talking about he's going to be the next Taysom Hill or some shit from New Orleans when you know goddamn well that's not going to happen, because as soon as attention is taken away from Carson Wentz, y'all going to have a controversy, and y'all don't want that. That's why Nick Foles has been ran out of town twice. Because he keeps overshadowing the starting quarterback, and y'all can't stand that, so y'all just get rid of the guy. So don't let Jalen Hurts come in and show that he is Dak Prescott 2.0 and can play better than your starting quarterback on your team, and then get mad about it when he's getting the call to play. But that's neither here nor there. Y'all have got me ranting about it because you Eagle fans are just hilarious. How y'all keep touting your team was this, that, and the other, but y'all ain't really proved nothing either. So, are y'all the champions? No. Were y'all last year's champions? No. Your championship was 3 years ago. So, technically, you're living on past accomplishments just like we are. Yeah, sure, ours is longer, but that doesn't change the fact that you still got how many? In the 25 plus years since we last won one? How many? But you're going to tout that as your biggest single accomplishment in your history right now. One title. But we could go on and on about how Eagle fans think they're so much better, yet they're worse. But whatever, you know. Y'all had a chance to draft a better tight wide receiver, but y'all decided to go even worse than Jefferson. Sure, Rager is going to be a pretty decent guy in your offense, but I wouldn't put too much faith in that because y'all did that with JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and he turned out to be a flop. Nelson Aguilar, who turned out to be a flop. Who is it? Alshon Jeffrey, who wants to get the hell out. And then you have nobodies. As you keep touting this, you got practice squad guys running your offense. But that's all right. You know, y'all going to be A-OK. Y'all got Carson Wentz. Y'all win another Super Bowl someday, maybe. I don't know. If you do win, I bet you it won't be Carson Wentz running the team. It'll be Jalen Hurts. And that's funny, too. I didn't see it until ESPN showed your selections. You drafted two guys named Jalen in the first 2 rounds. Jalen Rager and Jalen Hurts. Y'all got a Jalen thing right now. But anyway, the guys on ESPN radio want to sit up here and start talking about Jerry Jones doing his picks from his yacht, and that the yacht cost more than the money he paid to purchase the Dallas Cowboys way back when, which is true. But you have to think, back then, money wasn't flowing like it is now. And if it wasn't for Jerry Jones doing what he did branding-wise, a lot of these teams wouldn't be as expensive as they are. They wouldn't be up there in the top 10 of most valuable franchises. No. I mean, a lot of guys are taking the Jerry Jones model and trying to make money. That's their prerogative. I mean, don't say Jerry Jones didn't do something for everybody. But, yeah, it's just waiting through the 3rd day of the draft. See who's going to be Mr. Irrelevant this year. And see how this goes. I see the Eagles got a lot of comp picks coming up. So we'll see how this round ends. See if they pick up some more talent or if they're just going to be castaways because they're 4th round talent. But I think we're doing a pretty decent draft right now. Got 2 corners, a wide receiver, and a defensive tackle. More than likely, if an edge rusher they like falls to us, we'll pick them. Maybe if a quarterback falls, we'll pick them. Who knows? It's probably just going to be nothing but defensive help for the rest of the draft anyway, unless they see somebody on their board that they covet. But I don't know what their thinking is. Excuse me. Mike McCarthy's got a whole different philosophy than Jason Garrett. So we'll just have to see how that ends up. Right now, I'm liking it. I like to hear your opinion. So that's what we got so far. Round 1, C.D. Lamb, Oklahoma. Round 2, Trayvon Diggs, Alabama. Round 3, Neville Gallimore, Oklahoma. And round 4, Reggie Robinson 2, Tulsa. All right, y'all take care. VA Dallas Cowboy fan, out.